Today is a landmark day for all survivors in Nigeria, especially to every Christian girl who has been taken advantage of by the clergy. This is justice for survival. And this is to send a stern warning to every one of you who think that you can manipulate vulnerable women and girls in the name of the Lord. Survivors will get justice. You will find yourself in a place where you will not be able to escape one day. You can continue to fool everybody, but you will not be able to fool all the people all the time. To every survivor of sexual violence in Nigeria, this is justice. We want to say thank you to Ekiti State, where this case was first of all reported to in 2020. We want to thank the survivors who came out in 2019 when Feyi Daniels arrested them with the Nigerian police. We want to say thank you to DSVA. We want to say thank you to the Director of Public Prosecution who gave legal representation to the survivors. We want to say thank you to Lagos State government for saying no and zero tolerance to any form of gender-based violence. Today is landmark. This is a victory we didn't see coming. We knew we were going to have victory, but we didn't know it was going to be like this. Yes. Thank you to the judiciary. Okay, my name is Antonia Ojenagbon, Antonia Bruce but Not Broken Foundation. Thank you.
Bishop Femi Feyi Daniels is the presiding bishop of iReign Christian Ministry, a church based in Oregon, Lagos, Nigeria, but with branches across the globe. The man of God is currently in the news for some bad reasons involving the molestation of a church member. After a lengthy trial, he has been sentenced to life in prison.
Sexual offences. I'm a cameraman in front. Yes, I'm at the back. Protected, and members of the press are being intimidated here.
Remember me?
On Friday, an Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court sentenced the founder of iReign Christian Ministry, Feyi Daniels, to life imprisonment for raping a church member. The trial judge, Rahman Oshodi, found the Lagos-based cleric guilty of sexual assault of a female worshipper named Withheld and held that the cleric should spend the rest of his life at the Kirikiri custodial facility in Lagos. Justice Oshodi held that the prosecution established the ingredients of the two offences against him by a 19-year-old church member and a 23-year-old pastor assistant. According to the judge, Daniels is a liar and does not have any regard for truth. The news agency of Nigeria had reported that the bishop, who took to the witness box in his own defense, testified that he believed 3 out of the 4 women who accused him of sexually assaulting them conspired to turn against him. While fielding questions under cross-examination, the prosecution's lead counsel, Babajide Boye, sought to establish that the defendant, Bishop Daniels, had a personal relationship with the 4 women. Boye alleged that the defendant had cancelled one of the women, given the amount of 100,000 naira to another for hospital treatment, paid school fees for a third, and related with a fourth as a leader in the campus fellowship affiliated with the ministry at Akungba, Akobo in Ondo State. But the bishop denied giving money to one of the women for treatment. During the cross-examination, the prosecutor also sought to tender 4 statements purportedly written by the defendant whilst in police custody at various intervals last year. The defense counsel, Adebayo Adigbite, raised objections to the admissibility of the statements. He argued that the statements were not made by the defendant and that the bishop signed them under duress. Meanwhile, in his ruling, Justice Rahman Oshodi admitted the documents. The judge said, by Section 9, Subsection 3 and Subsection 4 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos State 2021, the presence of a video testimony of the suspect is desirable but not compulsory. I will admit the documents and later consider the evidential value to place on them. The objection of the defense is hereby overruled. End of quote.
Practitioner and a women's rights and children's rights advocate.
So what's your immediate reaction to this judgment?
Well, this is an erudite judgment. It is another win for all survivors. It is a judgment that will restore faith, primarily in the church, not just the church, because we have seen men of the cloth, the clergy, commit this crime over and over again, and we see the very institutions which are supposed to expose these crimes covering it up. But with this judgment, we have seen that even though the judgment may be a while, justice will eventually prevail. We have seen that with this judgment, that morality and truth, which is the main fabric of our society, is protected by the judiciary. We have also seen that the pernicious and perversive attitude of men of the cloth to take advantage of their position of influence over their congregation, the judgment has actually mitigated and exposed these perversive influences. It has also told survivors who have been brutalized, who have been, have one way or the other been victimized and traumatized by men of the cloth, that they have a voice, and that when they talk, we will listen and we believe them, and that with time, if they are firm, if they are fervent, they will get justice. There were 4 count charges. One, the rape against one of the first complainants. Second, rape against another complainant, and there was the 3rd charge, which was sexual assault, and the 4th one was attempted rape. The court found him guilty of the 4th count charge against the first complainant. They found him guilty of rape. That carried a life sentence. But the court, in its wisdom, said that the prosecution did not establish enough evidence in the 2nd count of rape against the 2nd complainant. But the court further went to find him guilty of sexual assault against the 3rd complainant, but did not find him guilty of attempted rape. So what's the impact of all of that? The impact is that he was found guilty of rape against one of the complainants. There were 3 complainants. Was found guilty of rape against one of the complainants and sexual assault against another complainant.
Are you satisfied that 2 counts he was acquitted on 2 counts?
Well, it is justice, and I would say that the court cannot, not for that Christmas, it cannot dash out judgment, it cannot dash out sentencing. If the court, looking at the value of the evidence before it, has said that the first complainant was a victim, was actually raped by the convict, yes, then the court is right in its wisdom. What do you tell him?
Yes, we need to start. We need something. They said that the divorce coming. Oh yeah, divorce is coming. Divorce is coming. Yes, fast.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.